Ukraine. Focus question. What makes Ukraine a unique and interesting country? Welcome to Ukraine. Ukraine became an independent country in 1991, making it one of the youngest countries in the world. But it has a long and fascinating history. Because of its rich soil, one of the world's first civilizations to practice agriculture developed there more than 5,000 years ago. Some of the castles and cities you can visit in Ukraine today have been standing for more than 1,000 years. Due to its location, various empires fought to control it for centuries. Today, the cultural influence of these empires can be seen in Ukraine's art, cuisine, and architecture, from delicious food to medieval castles and lively music festivals. There's so much to see and experience in Ukraine. The land. Ukraine is the largest country that is located entirely in Europe. Russia is larger, but it spans Europe and Asia. It's twice the size of Italy, but silently similar than the state of Texas. Ukraine shares borders with 7 countries: Belarus, Hungary, Moldova, Poland, Romania, Russia, and Slovakia. The country is also bordered by the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov in the south. The Dnieper, Ukraine's longest river, runs through the middle of the country from Belarus and north to the Black Sea. To the south of Ukraine is the Crimean Peninsula, which is connected to the mainland by the 8-kilometer, 5-mile strip of land. Besides the Carpathian Mountains in the west and Crimean Mountains on the peninsula, most of Ukraine is flat. Summers are often warm and humid, while winters are cold and dry. The fertile soil and mild weather of the country's plains make the land ideal for growing wheat. Because of these, Ukraine is sometimes referred to as the breadbasket of Europe. Wheat, corn, sunflowers, potatoes, and sugar beets are some of the main crops grown there. The people. Although Ukraine is twice the size of Italy, it has about 17 million fewer people. More than 2/3 of the country's population lives in cities. Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, is the largest city. Nearly 3 million people live there. Most people in the country are native Ukrainians, with Russians making up the next largest group. Ukrainians are part of an ethnic group called slaves, people primarily from Central and Eastern Europe who speak a Slavic language. Most people in Ukraine speak Ukrainian. Many other languages are spoken as well, including Russian, Polish, and Yiddish, a language spoken by some Jewish people in Europe. Today, Ukrainian is the official language in the country, but that wasn't always the case. In fact, at various times throughout the country's history, the language was banned in schools, churches, theaters, and other public institutions. For a while, it was even against the law to publish books in Ukrainian or give babies Ukrainian names. Ukrainian became the country's official language once again in 1989. History. Humans have lived in Ukraine since prehistoric times. In the 8th century BCE, around 2,750 years ago, groups of people from what is now Iran settled in the plains. In the following centuries, Greeks established colonies along the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. Around the same time, slaves are migrating from their homeland north of the Carpathian Mountains to settle throughout the region. They built settlements that later developed into important centers for business and politics. Kyiv grew out of one of these early settlements. By the 11th century CE, the slaves have joined with Viking invaders from Scandinavia and formed a powerful kingdom called Kievan Rus. Its empire's reign ended when the Mongols arrived from Central Asia and attacked the kingdom in the 1200s. Lithuania then took control of most of Ukraine in the 1300s. In the late 1500s, Poland invaded Ukraine. The Polish forced most Ukrainians to become serfs, farmers who were obligated to work on land they didn't own. Serfs had little wealth or power, angry over their situation. The serfs rebuilt in the 1600s. They formed a military force called the Cossacks and asked for Russia's help in defeating the Polish. The Cossacks won independence from Poland by the late 1700s. Russia had gained control of nearly all of Ukraine. It was during this time that use the Ukrainian language was prohibited. By 1922, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, the largest country to ever exist. It included what are now the separate countries in Lithuania, Belarus, Russia, and Moldova, along many others. The Soviet Union broke apart in 1991. The Ukraine declared its independence. That year, the country elected its first president, Leonid Kravchuk. The Chernobyl disaster. In April 1986, explosions at a nuclear power station in Chernobyl released radioactive material into the air. Radioactive materials give off a form of energy called radiation, which can be dangerous to living creatures in high amounts. Wind carried the radioactive material as far west as France and Italy, exposing hundreds of thousands of people and millions of acres of land to harmful radiation. Following the accident, thousands of people were forced to leave their homes. The government made it illegal to come within 30 kilometers, 18 miles, of the nuclear power station because the land, water, and air had become radioactive. The radiation had also caused deformities, mishapen, or abnormal body parts in animals born near the site. To this day, no people live there because the land and animals are still radioactive. Landmarks. Ukraine has many incredible landmarks, both natural and human-made. It has more than 45 national parks, including the Carpathian National Nature Park, which was established in 1980 to protect the landscape